Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I am your host here, Chantele Francis, and here is my lovely co-host today. We have
Michelle Nash.
Yay, Michelle Nash. If this is the first time on Reality Realness, well then welcome. Make sure you subscribe right down below. We're all about reality TV and all the gossip that goes along with it. And so in the off season of the challenge, we decided to pick up The Duel, which is season 13 of the Real World Road Rules, the challenge. And we're kind of going to be talking today about episode 3 and 4. Overall thoughts, Michelle?
My overall thoughts is that I really think there's a nice authenticity to the decisions that the players make this early on. And while I think some of them are bad game moves strategically, I think that it's a kind of a nice thing of like people just saying like, I'm just going to go for this and I'm going to go for this and making decisions on the fly and not having too many pre-alliances, you know? And yeah, it was fun. And also like forgetting how innocent Paula was back then. Like such a scaredy little, like, I just want to do well, improve myself. Like I really kind of felt for her, which I never have before. So
because she sometimes goes off her rocker a little bit.
Yeah, I think that happens more later on too, but yeah.
I don't know. Oh, this episode, you think?
No, not this episode. I just mean like in season after that. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, like, it's just, I love going down this memory lane because it's kind of like, it feels like I just watched it, but it's actually been just so long ago. And like, it's weird how nostalgia works. Cause it's like, it's like you're remembering in the now. And so it feels like it's happening in the moment that you're watching it. Like I feel like I'm transported back in time in a weird way. And like, I'm really enjoying that because like, I really loved the show back then. Exactly. And not just that I don't right now, but there's something that it brings out in me. I don't know if it was like my youth or like, you know, this was like the only competition reality show really that I was like super engrossed in. Like, I don't know, but like, I love that it's kind of like a little time capsule. It's
yeah. Great. And like Kenny is considered a rookie. Like, you know, like it's crazy to me.
It's great. Yeah. So we come back to the next episode and you know what? I'm actually kind of enjoying how even though they have like completed episodes, it's still kind of fragmented. Like it's still kind of like picking you up off and like, you know, like where you last left off. It's kind of like,
exactly.
That's how they kind of cut it. As opposed to now it does do a more of a complete episode where it's like walking in. I mean, it is kind of ending walking in from the challenge, whatever, but there's something a little bit different about it. Do you agree here?
Yeah, absolutely. Like this episode started with the continuation of last episode with Tina punching Beth. It starts with that. So it's like, we just start with that. We move. Okay. She's going to go home now. Okay. We're not going to have a girls duel. Let's move on. Like nothing is like, like weighing in it. It's just like boom, boom, boom on to the next challenge.
But one thing did you clock, and that wasn't meant to be like a punching pun, but clock how, what's her name? Tina says, like, it felt like punching a frozen pig because she has so much Botox.
Okay, here's something that I didn't understand about the episode. Why does everyone hate Beth so much?
I remember I asked yesterday, I didn't know last week.
I know that they think she pushes and all this stuff, but like in the episode, yeah, like Tina obviously is like, she's like, I've been thinking of punching her for years. I'm like, what has she been doing for years? B, like the shit that Derek says to her in this episode, like why do all of them hate her? They just think that she's the one instigating all the fights and the arguments? Is that why? Like,
I just don't remember. Like, she was a real world person. I'm asking.
I honestly, I don't even remember her origin story, which I'm embarrassed to say.
I don't either. I'm embarrassed as well, but come on. Like, we've been watching you know how much content I have in my brain? Yeah. Like, I could probably name, we'll say for Big Brother, like, every winner and runner-up and probably first boots. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of information to have in your brain for 20 years. So
yeah, we can forgive ourselves for that. And honestly, yeah, I just thought it was so extreme, like how much they hate her. But I mean, she holds her own and she doesn't really let it affect her that much. which I appreciate.
Yeah, me too. And like, that's also becomes her character, right? Like that's who she is in the show. She's the person that annoys people and people love to hate, and that's why she gets invited back. Okay, so her original series is The Real World Los Angeles. Oh, she's Aquarius, so I wouldn't probably hate her. She's 51 now.
So think about it. Duel 1 was what year?
2006.
2006. So she was in her mid 30s, and they're acting like she's.
Is that right? I don't know. I didn't look at it properly.
Yeah, she's
no,
in
37. Oh.
And now, and so people are acting like she's so old. But I mean, back then, most of them were so young, right?
Oh my God, she actually was 37. That's freaking old for the show.
Well, nowadays, not as much, right? For the men.
37?
Yeah, CT's 40.
No, I mean, now games like that. Okay, I'm just thinking like with all the other people that are on the show.
That's the thing, is like, back then, everyone is so young. Like, how young does Paula look? Wow. How young do all those boys look? That's really astounding to me, how young they look.
Well, it's like, and at that time, I was like, they just looked like these old, like, I guess I was about the same age as them at that time. So,
yeah,
like, I guess they look at my peers. I need to see what they look like now so I could see how I look in relation to them.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, bringing Big Brother back into this, I see Memphis, and I'm like, Memphis is younger than me. Like, he looks like...
Yeah, well, he hasn't been good to life, and in turn, life hasn't been good to him. Like,
probably, actually. He doesn't seem like he's a good person at all.
No.
Did you end up sneakily watching the episode or no?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to find a link after, like, later on tonight. So I have a long night ahead of me, which I'm super excited about. No spoilers, even though I definitely know what's definitely gonna happen, but I don't want to,
I won't tell you nothing. I just wanted to be sure that, like, how much I was able to divulge in this particular moment. Okay, so that was her origin story. What else do we want to know about Beth? Do you think they'll tell us about why she's hated?
Yeah, is there an article?
She was a contestant on She competed. Okay. That's known for annoying just about everyone, especially her male roommates. Okay.
She do to annoy them.
Beth might epitomize the real world drama queen, and for that reason alone, she might make it far in the competition. Who wants to get rid of the one person you can really love to hate?
Okay, so obviously she was just a big personality on Real World LA, and then was just someone who people were annoyed by.
So that was for the battle of the season, but yeah, I agree.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. So the good. In a memorable real-world moment, Beth tried to help her roommate, Tammy, cover up when housemate David pulled the covers off of her. All Beth's good deed got her was a door slammed on her head. I don't remember this. I mean, I've seen all the Real Worlds. I don't remember that.
It was so long ago.
Performance in the battle of the season, she got herself and her partner, John, kicked off in the first episode. Her personality often clashes with other cast members.
So she probably got into a fight.
So yeah, not that we're ageist, but shouldn't she be signing up for Social Security or something? Oh man, woo, people. Okay, so yeah, she was just older. She was probably just annoying to like the young people that just wanted to party and be silly, and she's probably like, guys, or whatever, and just be good to each other, just probably being more of like a mom figure, and people just wanted to have fun. Yeah. And like inserting her opinion when it's not actually welcome. That's probably what she's like. And I can see that being her.
Totally.
Kind of annoying. You know, she's Aquarius. Girl, what is she doing? Don't ruin her sign. I love all Aquarius. I love them all. What else? So TJ though, like he's so chill about telling Tina. She's like, yeah, man, like, you know the rules. Like you can't hit anybody. So she's like, you know what you've already said before, like it was worth it. It was worth it. But even TJ just looks like such a skater boy or BMX boy.
So young.
Oversized baggy shirt and like dopey hair.
The fashions are everything to me.
we should have a party that's like dressed like 2006 reality television stars. Everybody will have like frosty tips and like those puka necklaces. And like baggy, like straight leg with like the frayed edges jeans.
Oh, totally.
So gross. I mean, I don't know why I wore those things back then, but I did. But what was interesting, did you notice this, that CT says you played yourself? So like with when he's talking about Tina,
yeah,
has he not gotten into any fights with anybody yet? No, like he was
no.
scrappy, but he was scrappy in the Real World Paris.
Yes, but he didn't get into any fights for money, right? Like at this point in the challenge, he hadn't done anything. Like it isn't until the I think, I don't know if the ruins is the first time he gets kicked off or not, or like hits someone or not, but he doesn't really start getting into those kind of fights on the show in terms of like actually hitting someone to get kicked off until after the DM stuff, because that's when everything spirals.
Yeah, so he was kind of like lost the love of his
brother passing away and all that. Like that's when he kind of is in crisis, and that's when he gets kicked off like 2 or 3 times in a row almost, and then takes a hiatus and comes back for Battle of the Exes or Rivals, but or whatever one came first. But
I don't know if
he's fine. I think because he's like, it's for money. Like I'm not gonna like fuck this up.
Yeah, and like, he was so like the words that he chose to use were so much scrappier. Like he said something that was so Boston. Like you meatball. He called someone a meatball.
Yeah.
I was like, get out of here! Like you really.
I love him so much.
He's so cute back then. Loved old school CT. So cute. But what I was going to ask you is, I might have asked you before, but I don't remember your answer. Have you watched the CT and his girlfriend, like the marriage special?
I did.
Okay. No, I'm just curious. If, like, I really don't enjoy his wife.
A lot of people have been hating on her. I kind of feel bad, actually.
Okay.
She's actually, it's interesting because she has a very similar look facially to DM, and she's very small. And if you actually look at them side by side, there's some similarities, but she's definitely not at all the same person. Like her personality is completely different. And I think that like she's, she gets a lot of hate for being like just a server or a bartender and being like more like this or that, right? And or being just like not being relevant enough or not good enough for him or something like that. But I think that she is fun and she keeps him happy and they have a seemingly good relationship. And I mean,
I guess what I didn't like, or what was shown about her that I didn't really enjoy was she was kind of poo-pooing the relationship that even got him into the place to be able to meet her. You know what I mean? Like he really was anti all of the challenge friends. And I can understand like having like friends that are bad influence, this and that, but like all the money he's ever made in his adult life has been through these friends and these relationships in this TV show. And so I just didn't really like that she was kind of against that whole side of him. It was just kind of like, I don't know, it's you fell in love with somebody and now you want to change him, and like that's a huge part of him. And I didn't like that he was kind of making him choose her over the challenge, which is actually his life, But
I mean, he's been back, so obviously it's changed.
Well, I mean, he has to make some money. He doesn't want to go construction or whatever he was doing before, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, true.
Like he wants to go, like, okay, honey, I'm gonna be gone for a month. I'm gonna bring back 50 grand. Like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Of course I would say yes and be like, honey, you like, it's his job. It is his job.
Totally.
So yeah, like, and I loved it when all of the challenge friends went over to this house and like, were kind of hazing him. I love that they created such a bond over these last 15, 20 years. Like, I love that kind of thing. And so, I don't know, the fact that she doesn't like the challenge friends, when I'm like, that's the most special part about him competing on this show for his whole youth.
I mean, she's friends with kind of some of the people we don't like. Like she's friends with Cara. She's friends with Natalie. There's some of them that she's just like, I've seen on Instagram at least, she has a good rapport with, but it's a weird selection. It's a weird selection.
Yeah, not my favorite. But then back to the duel. So they have a challenge. I don't know if they named it. And so it was basically there was teamwork. And what I thought was interesting, which I always love, was when people had to pick their partners or pick their teams. So they picked their partners and their teams, and they basically had to, they're all raised up high, and there was like a ladder, very wobbly ladder with no railings or anything whatsoever. That is actually quite scary.
Yeah.
From one side to the other. They have to go and pass their partner and not fall off. But pretty much everybody fell off on their first round because they weren't allowed to touch the rungs, and they weren't allowed to not go at the same time as their partner. They had to cross at a certain point. So what do you think about the first draft of like, or the first like round of that challenge? Like, I feel like it was kind of.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously just didn't test it well enough and they weren't able to do it. I thought DM and CT were really cute.
He spanked her bum.
What?
Do you notice that he spanked her butt?
No! I saw them all react and I was like, what did he do? Oh, he
spanked her butt. And so yeah, I was like, oh, they're starting to like have their
fall. Like
she didn't fall, no, but he did. I was so mad that he fell. I wanted them to. That's when I was starting to like really root for them. Like just seeing him, just her light up his eyes, and like she's going through so much. It's the beginning of like that magic of DM and CT with an ass spank.
Yikes.
So round 2, they got to obviously keep their same partners. Do we care about who the partners were?
No.
A
standout is that Kenny had to be with Beth. Lol.
How did that happen? I mean, maybe Beth isn't bad, maybe.
But also he's like considered not, he isn't.
When did him and Evan become besties?
Well, they were both fresh meters.
Right. Okay, so they just been through it all together from day one.
Yeah.
Got it. So round 2 happens, and they're allowed to get to the other side however way that they can, and it would be timed once both people completed. And who was it that won in the end?
Jody?
I think so. And who?
And
I mean, I wrote it down. I just can't read my writing right now.
Jody and it wasn't Big Easy. No.
Oh, Evan and Jody.
Evan.
But oh my God, Big Easy, I call him Twinkle Toes when he was going across that thing. He's just like, I mean, he got across.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I thought he was going to go down near the end, but so they won. What did they win? They won something good, I think. Was that the projector?
Yeah, some sort of thing.
I like these prizes. Like, I know we've talked about. I just like, give me a fucking prize. I love game shows, and this is what these competition reality shows are now. Like I used to watch The Price is Right and like watch even Match Game, even though it's not, it is for a prize, but like I just watch the game show network all the time, even growing up. So I like competitive reality shows because it's like the new morphing of the game show. And so give the fuck, what's behind door number 1? I want to see this. I want to see this game show. And so I like those prizes. Actually, that's a thought. Maybe we can conceptualize like a game show, competitive reality show that kind of mix like The Price is Right more style games into like a competitive like fashion.
Yeah.
Fun. Like if it's more game show stuff.
Oh, I'd be in.
I'm gonna think about this because like I find them so fun. I've always loved them. Like obviously we love reality TV, competitive reality TV. Like let's mix those worlds.
Totally.
I mean, I guess Big Brother's kind of like that, but like I'd like people to be winning things like on the regular, like, oh, like something small, like, oh, you didn't win this, but you won that. I don't know, that kind of thing. But I'm going to think about conceptualizing a new game show. That's something I think we need. I'm not even joking.
That's definitely what we need right now.
Like, is The Price is Right even on still? I know Drew Carey took it on, but I don't hear about it anymore. Like, I used to.
Honestly, I don't know. I used to watch it, but I haven't lately.
I'm going to go on a mission. That's like something I'm very excited about to do. So with that, I guess, wait, who ended up starting it? It was going to be now a boys elimination. So Evan got to start the call out?
Yeah.
So Evan started. I don't know what the order was. I didn't really fully put it, but he gave Casey the choice of either Kevin or Tyler. Obviously, the two most junior, the rookies, like she had to choose which one she was going to save and which one was going to be up for elimination. And so in the end, she chooses Tyler. And I think that was pretty safe of her to do because he was just in it last week. So it's kind of like, let's put him in again, not really making any new enemies. Like, there you go. So what do you think about, do you think that choice was obvious, or do you have any thoughts about it?
Well, I mean, part of me was like, it might be smart just to be like, oh, this person's already been in. But like, Tyler has no real allies right now. He had Johnny. He chose to go against him. Like, and he's got Paula and Svetlana, who are like at the bottom of the totem pole anyway. So it's not really a risk to throw him. But like, the choice was between him and Kenny, right?
Yes.
And like, I don't know. Kenny is like more appealing of an option to keep, I think.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
She like just even the flirting aspect, because Kenny's pretty flirty too, and like it's a nice energy to have around. Like that's the energy that Fanta's always looking for. It's like that flirty, sexy, horny pool energy. Like
exactly,
like, you want that in the house. You don't necessarily, if you don't jive with the gay man, like, you know, then he's expendable, especially if he's a rookie. Mm-hmm. So what did you think about Tyler choosing Derek to go in again?
I thought that it was definitely a bold move. I mean, we know he's an elimination king, but, and I love that like his reputation already precedes him like at this point. Like that's how long Derek has been doing this shit. But I think part of him was probably maybe a little bit like, okay, well, he's the shortest, smallest guy. So like if it's like some sort of wrestling, Tyler probably would have had maybe an upper hand. I mean, not fully because Derek's amazing, but you know what I mean. He probably would have had a bit of an upper hand if it was something physical, maybe he thought. So it's gonna be like, you know what, I want to go against someone good, someone strong to prove myself. Because like, again, these choices I'm saying that are like not really strategic, but like they're kind of more endearing and genuine, that like, he's just like, I'm going to go for one of the big dogs who like, I still think maybe I can beat, you know?
Yeah, I mean, especially since he's trying to make a mark for himself and he knows that he's most likely going to be thrown in every single time unless he scares them out of it. And so he kind of think it may be a little bit actually a strategic decision to do that, because if he wins, he's going to be a little more feared. Like, I don't think that this group of guys would fear him, but it's the thought that counts, right? Like he's considering the fact that if he comes back and he took out one of these big dogs, like maybe people will be like, well, maybe we'll go against someone that we know we can beat for sure because he just took out one of our friends. So maybe he's trying to scare them. But he ends up playing the Ascender, and whoever wins is going to win an Xbox 360, which is quite exciting, where they had to basically climb a rope, do some monkey bars over to a bag of puzzle pieces, drop the puzzle pieces, come down, and complete the puzzle in time. Mm-hmm. Great challenge. Easy, like simple, just like basics, like tests a lot of different things, like upper body strength, like monkey bars, like puzzle, like it's great. And Tyler didn't come out on top, and Derek winning it. What did you think about that outcome?
I was happy. I at this time, like I was a huge Derek fan because he was always the underdog for his size. And he always just gives his all, and he's so dedicated. Nowadays, I mean, he kind of annoys me a little bit more, but also his podcast is whew.
And tell me, go on.
No, I just find I can barely listen to his podcast because the quality is like so the sound is just like really hard to hear and listen to. And I don't really like his questions and stuff. Like it's not, I don't know. I thought I would like it more than I did. I'll just say that.
He was a first boot on a Sequester Mini a couple weeks ago.
He was playing like Mini?
Yeah, he was playing on a Reality Star one, I think, and Sequester Star. So he was on it. Some people in the Sequester community was on it. What's her name? Jessica from last season, Big Brother. The girl you just talked about, Natalie, was on it. So there's a few different.
Roddy?
Oh my God, Trishelle was on it.
Oh right, you told me about Trishelle.
Yeah. And
Trishelle didn't save Derek, like.
I don't know what they weren't playing really well from the very beginning. I don't think she even knew not to like that he was up for. it's you need to get your name out of people's mouth in the beginning. I don't know why they might have not have liked his video or something like that. Like that's like it's just silly reasons in the beginning as to get the ball rolling as to why people get voted out first. And so I think someone was saying like, well, we want like the sequester people to like to do better. We don't want these reality stars to overtake us or stuff like that. So like they got out the reality. That's what their pitch was, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I think they just had enough people, and I don't even know if I can't remember if Michelle even knew that he was. I think she was like like when he got evicted or eliminated. But it was a decent watch. It made me learn that I'm not the biggest fan. Well, I already knew this of Natalie, and neither Jessica, whose podcast I also don't think I can listen to because I don't really agree with her take.
Yeah,
I'm like, no.
Did Natalie do well?
I think she was final 4.
Okay, that's impressive.
Final 5 or final 4, but it was kind of a whole Latina stick together with her and Jessica kind of thing. And then who was it with? Jamar, was it? I don't know. I think it was, yeah, Jamar was final 2 with Jatia. Yeah.
No way! Good
yeah. And so, yeah, I think the final 4, I think that was the final 4 was Jessica and Natalie. I can't remember properly, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the final 2 was Jamar and Jatia ended up winning. Spoiler alert! Sorry, guys, but I don't know if you're watching that particular sequester mini from like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Sorry. So episode 4 happens, and we kind of start with Paula talking about how she lost her friend, and even the confessionals are, very, very guerrilla style, like in the corner of the bedroom, like, okay, let me get your confessional now. Like in these days, they're in like a room of some sort, and I feel like they do a day of confessionals, and it's kind of like a little bit more controlled, but these ones are just it's so camcorder,
Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
So, okay, was Anissa really good friends with Tina?
No, not necessarily. Actually, I don't know that.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because that's when that whole little weird interaction happened in the bedroom with like Beth kind of apologizing or something to Anissa. I don't know. I didn't really get that.
I didn't really get that conversation either, I'll be honest.
And then Derek just comes and pipes in about like how he can't stand her. What did he actually say? Derek tells Beth that she is different
about things.
She's difficult.
Yeah.
Everyone really though is against Beth, and sometimes people have to embrace that. I've definitely met people in my lifetime that I'm like, don't you just want people to like you? But they kind of like negative attention is good enough.
But it's interesting that they still pick her over Paula and Svetlana. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though she's so hated, she's not at the bottom before rookies. Like, rookies are always at the bottom back in these days. Like, even if you're like a hated person, they're still going to get rid of the rookies first, and then they're going to get rid of you. Like, it's just this thing. Like,
I love that. I mean, I guess, hazing and stuff like that is not the greatest thing, but I do love people proving their stripes in these kind of, in this show in particular. Like, I want the rookies to work for it to be, top dog and get to pick and choose the challenges you want to do. And I don't know. I like people earning their stripes that way on this particular show. Totally. That's another thing that bothers me about nowadays, right? Like how Jenny just comes in and stealing $500,000 from like people that have really worked so hard to like be on that show. Mm-hmm. It sucks. I mean, it's great for her. Great. Yeah.
Take the money, queen.
Fuck. I'd be so irritated. Like, I would be the most irritated probably with Turbo.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting like $750,000 and he wasn't even getting along with people. Like, he'll probably never be invited back. Like,
yeah, no, he's blacklisted, I think.
He just takes $1 million basically and like leaves. I don't know. I hate that. I hate that. What else happened? Okay, so I actually really like this comp. It's pretty simple as well, but it's like this roller derby thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you like to see them do that now? I know people are a little bit older, so they might be a little more rickety, but like, I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. It was fun. It was cute. It was messy. And yeah, it was entertaining.
definitely entertaining. I felt that both this competition and the last one with the rungs, they were a little bit too long. I felt like we were spending a little bit too much of the episode on the, like, I get it, they're running around. I get that Anissa is going to be a little more like, you know, bouncing into people and, you know, getting disqualified. Like, I know that's going to be happening. I don't need to see it 4 rounds or 6 rounds like the guys and girls heats. Like, so I think that they could have done a little bit better of an editing job, but I loved it. And roller skates, like obviously that's what I'm gonna do for my birthday next year. I think I'm gonna go to a roller skate arena.
Yes, I've never been.
Ever?
Okay, no.
Have you ever roller skated?
Not really.
I'll make it themed.
Never had any, so probably will fall, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this is it. I'm gonna make it a 70s themed Saturday Night Fever roller derby birthday party. You heard it here first, guys.
I also want to shout out to Svetlana, because this is where it emerges that, like, she's a force to be reckoned with. Like, she does really well, and the only reason that Jody wins it is because Svetlana chooses to not try to take her down. You know, like, Svetlana is like, she's kind of in that category of where Teresa ended up for me, although Teresa's personality was not as
Teresa,
nice.
I almost see what she looks like.
She looks like Svetlana, but like,
I can't remember.
Brown hair. She has a thing for Wes and for Kenny. She is, you know, has beef with everybody. Camilla, like everyone.
I can't see
really
what
strong. She's, you know, anyway.
Almost. And she's very skinny though, right?
Yeah. How do you not remember Teresa? She was in so many seasons.
No, I just like it's like a fuzzy outline of her right now. Like it just hasn't come into focus.
Yeah.
I almost remember what she looks like.
She, like, almost won many times and would lose against people like Laurel, but she beat some other people.
And she's scrappy, right?
She's really scrappy, and she's a bit taller. There's a scene where she like plays basketball for fun with the boys and beats the boys.
Good.
A bunch of hoops. And to me, she's like a Svetlana. Like, she's unassuming. She doesn't look like she's going to be much of a competitor, but she actually is stronger and faster than people give her credit for.
For sure. I do remember when I originally was watching this thing being like pumped that Svetlana was like proving herself and like doing pretty well. Like I definitely agree that her origin story was kind of beginning there as well. Mm-hmm. You know, obviously she's a rookie, but like you could see that she's going to start getting better. How many did she do? A lot of seasons? I can't remember right now.
She only does this one, and then she does The Ruins, and that's.
She got married or something? I feel like
Svetlana. I don't know what her life is now, but she just stopped. She was never really a challenge person. She didn't like the cattiness and the, like, you know, throwing people under the bus. She was not really like that, and
oh my god,
makes
what we're gonna do after we finish The Duel, let's do a where are they now episode.
Yeah.
And so we go back of The Duel and just like go through everybody to see like a little like blurb on like what they're doing now, and like I'll pop up a picture of them and like
that'd be fun.
Updated. I think that's fun actually. Let's do it. Okay, that's another thing to write down. Okay,
yeah.
Do that. What else happened this episode? Really, who was the guy winner? Big Easy, right? Oh no! Well, no, Svetlana, or was it
girl winner?
Yeah.
The guy winner was Brad. He won the bike.
He won the bike.
The girl winner was Jody.
And so whatever, she starts with Big Easy, right? Or just like it ended up with Big Easy. I don't remember. I didn't take great notes.
Ended up with Big Easy.
And so he had to pick Svetlana.
Yeah. And Paula essentially like volunteers herself. Yeah,
which I was like, was that, why do you think she did that? I can take a
well, but this is the other thing. It's this whole genuine thing that like, it's their rookie season, and it's back in the day when like strategy, you know, it wasn't the same that it is now. And I think that like at the time, she didn't want her friend to be, you know, up for elimination. And I think
I guess she would rather take it and go home than have Svetlana go home. And
and she probably didn't want to be in that house without Svetlana. Yeah. She's like not friends with anybody at this point. And Bananas is gone, and now Tyler's gone. It's like she doesn't really have anybody, and I think she would have been probably pretty upset. She's so fragile. You can just tell, like in her interviews, she's very like, yeah, I'm just hoping, you know, I'm gonna try and like prove myself, and like she just gets really like frazzled by like people intimidating her and like the conflict, and but she still I don't know, I respect that she was like, fuck you, I'm gonna go for you, Anissa, because you just slammed me to the fucking ground. And
Yeah,
the way that it's
call out.
like, Paula, and like yells at her across, like, I'm sorry. Like, you don't apologize to someone like that. Sorry, Anissa. Like, young Anissa is just like so rude, especially in this episode. Like, just is like, I don't know, just like everything is an attack, and everything is just like, I said I'm sorry, so it doesn't matter if I shove you to the ground and hurt you. Like, it does matter. And yeah, it's just a competition. So as just a competition, she's gonna go against you in elimination. Suck it up. Like,
Absolutely.
so you have the upper hand in almost everything, especially like physical.
Unfortunately, though, so yes, Paula chose Anissa to compete, and it's basically like seal the pole or whatever it's called. And it was just something that Paula, I mean, she definitely held her own. She did not let her win.
She held on. I was impressed by that.
And I remember in the real time, I was pretty impressed by how long she held on. But there was no surprise that Anissa was winning that. And so good on Paula. Obviously, we know that she's going to come back quite a few times and grow up with us. But I was sad to see her go. But I knew that I was team Bets then anyways. So I was like, obviously the Bets are going to stay, they're going to fucking do it. So stupid. So one thing that I thought was really funny though was, did you watch the little outro? Like during the credits?
I think I did. What happened in it?
They were doing like kind of like conga line-y stuff. Like they're all just dancing in the street.
Oh yeah.
The line, and like they're calling like, and Beth, go Beth. And I was like, they're missing having fun on the show. They need some fun.
Yeah, it's way more lighthearted, and like the competition, they compete hard and then they just like have fun. But like, I think as people age and the relationships get deeper and different, it's like people change and they have these like deep-seated issues with others, and they just are there to like get their paycheck. And with social media, there's just so much more drama.
Yeah, I mean, I like social media, but I hate what it's changed to like my favorite things. Like I want them to go back to a nostalgia season of obviously the challenge. We talk about it over and over again. Like I'm enjoying watching this season even more than I enjoyed season 36, because it was just like light. It was fun. The competitions were like, the challenges were enjoyable and something that I'm like, oh, could I do that? I don't know if I could do that. Like, oh yeah, I'd try that. Like I felt more part of it, you know what I mean? And I love the prize. I like these old school versions, and I would really hope that like they just revisit some of it and just make it less glossy and make it less Instagram worthy and more like real.
More real.
Yeah, more real. Well, do you have anything else to say about this episode other than that?
No, it wasn't too dramatic, but it was still fun, and I'm excited for the next few because I feel like things are going to get
heated. Yeah. I do have a question. Which season were they on the boat?
The island. Wait.
Okay. I just remember when they were on the boat, and what's the girl that came back recently? Veronica, getting in a fight on the boat or something like that.
Oh, you know what? I might be thinking.
C, I think it is actually.
Oh, right. Sorry. That's before the.
I just had there's a flash of that. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that episode, that season. But anyways, I remember anticipating that season coming, and I just remember like so excited when like Real World was coming back. I haven't thought about it since till now.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll revisit that. Do you remember it? Did you like it? Did you watch it?
I don't remember it, to be honest. So that might be good, actually.
Might have been like maybe a winter thing.
Yeah. There was a winter one. Yeah, I don't remember it very well. So that'd be good.
If you haven't seen it, that's even better. Okay. Yeah. Let me look into that for you.
Okay.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. If you have any comments, if you want to talk about these characters that we love, make sure you comment in the comments below. Where can people find you online, Michelle?
On Instagram, I'm at Mish Nash with 3 H's.
Perfect. And if you want to find me on Instagram, it's at ShanFranFran or at Reality Realness with 3 S's. Make sure that you subscribe. Please subscribe so like we have reasons to do this for you because we love it. We'll do it anyways, but like it's even better if people are
it's made, just for us. And means like who's watching the Duel one right now? But if you're not, like you should be.
I get maybe like 30 people are at least watching this. Like if people I've watched something before, I can still watch a a podcast about it or like listen to something about it because like I remember that. And so like I'm actually a person that doesn't need to be watching along. Just saying. So if you like this episode, hit the like button or ring that bell so you can be notified every time we have a new episode. Thanks everybody. Ciao.